Good morning, friends, and welcome to another Monday of Thriving with Collaboration. We're really grateful to have you here, and this morning I am especially thankful for my friend Sandy Armstrong, who is a friend that I met through Young Living, which is awesome. She's part of our team and has been for many, many years. She is a phenomenal gold leader that lives in southern Iowa in a sweet town called Mount Air. And I won't say little because I know a lot of towns that are smaller than that one, but Sandy and her husband own a funeral home there, and I will let her elaborate more on that. But one of the unique things about not only their story, but all of us is that whatever niche in life we fill, it seems like it's only natural that we figure out how to use all of these Young Living oils and supplements and protocols and all of these natural tools that we have in our toolbox to fit our particular needs. And so something that is very unique to Sandy is that she does a lot of ministering to people who are grieving and in very stressful times. And so we happen to be in a very stressful time, and coronavirus or not, all of us at some point in life go through loss. And I just feel like the information that Sandy is going to share this morning is extremely applicable all the time for all of us, but maybe even more so right now. And I hope that there aren't a lot of people that are going through loss, but for sure we are all in a different kind of stressful time. And so, Sandy, I am going to turn this over to you, and I just want to say thank you so much for being here, and you can take it away.
There we go, on mute. Good morning, everybody. Well, thank you, Skyla. Appreciate your kind words. You've been an amazing leader for all of us, and we appreciate you and all the things that you have taught us and help us do. So, yes, so Bill and I have been here at the funeral home in Mount Air for like 32 years. So a long time. When we came, Bill came as an employee, and then eventually a partner, and then eventually the owner. So it would have been, let's see, I've been in Young Living 6 years now, a little over 6 years. So it was before I was in Young Living. I was working at the funeral home full time with Bill when the partner decided he wanted to retire part-time, and yet we could not hire another funeral director. So that brought me on board to help with everything. And so when I started with Young Living, then of course I was still there at work. And so I wanted to have not only at home, but there. And what we found is that we started using the diffuser. At first in the office, we diffused thieves. And then I found out that like bergamot is the oil that turns grief into joy. And tangerine is another oil that is for grief. And so we started diffusing those, and we would put those like in the family room, in the arrangement room. And we always did thieves in our office, which when you come into the office or in the funeral home, our office is right there. So people would come in, and one of the things they would always tell us is, it just smells so good in here. It doesn't smell chemically. It doesn't smell like, it doesn't smell like a funeral home. It smells like a home. And so we use those oils a lot. We also would use Believe oils, a lot of the citrus oils also, because they're, more of our happy oils. Depending on the situation, if it's a young person, it would be different what we would do versus if it was a natural aging and people were more prepared. But we always would diffuse something. We do a lot of thieves when things are going around just to help keep us healthy. And then in the bathrooms, we have the Thieves hand soap, we have the Genesis lotion, and we would keep the big bottles of the Thieves hand sanitizer, one in our office, one in the family room, just to make that available for everybody. And it was interesting, and because you could always tell who really washed their hands, because they would come out, especially men, they go, that smells good. What's that stuff in there, you know? And so, sorry about my other phone. I should have took it off the hook. And so it was interesting to, see people's responses to that. A lot of times, like if I, of course we live in a small town, so people. So I would also get a lot of the bergamot and tangerine in the 5 mils. And if I knew them well, I could, send that home with them or make roller balls. When it's a young person in our community, because we live in a small community, we actually go to the home to make arrangements. And so a lot of times, then I would literally just take a diffuser with me and take those oils and just, whoever's there helping that family say, here, set this up, run it. And do that kind of thing, because if it's young, it's tragedy, and you really need something to help support them that way. So we would do we do that, and then a lot of times just even us wearing them, and you're sitting by them, you can just be that human diffuser. My husband gets more hugs than anybody, because people will hug him and then they'll, oh, you smell so good. Can I hug you again? Or they'll just, oh, can I just stay here because the way you smell, it's just calming. He wears a lot of peace and calming to work when it's busy. He wears Believe a lot, Shutron, those kind of things. So we find that that's helpful, just the way that we, what we wear, because you're around them and it smells good. I've only had probably one time someone ask us to turn the diffuser off. It was bothering them. But other than that, most of the time people are really appreciative of that we have those and offer that. So it's been a really good thing. And that's kind of, how we do things, not, I'm trying to think if there's anything else. Any other information, Skylar, that you wanted me to share besides of what products we've been using?
I think that is amazing. You even brought some oils to mind that I had kind of forgotten about, especially with the tangerine and that connection. I think that's really helpful. I would be curious to know if any of you that are on the Zoom this morning have any questions for Sandy. If you do, you're welcome to unmute yourself, and you're also welcome to use the chat box. Sandy, I think that's just wonderful. I was really encouraged by you sharing that you literally take diffusers to people's homes. And I think we just can't underestimate the power of that. I mean, not only is it a very generous gift to say, here, please use this for a while, but they're in such a state of, confusion and just such a different mindset that I think sometimes just having us do it for them, like, let me plug this in and fill it. And they don't have to do anything. It's not like they have to remember to take a pill every 3 hours. They can literally sit on their couch and cry. Mm-hmm. And that oil being diffused is so ministering to them. So that is just such a powerful idea. I mean, I've given people oils a ton, but I admit in a grieving situation, I've never gone and literally plugged in a diffuser for somebody. So thank you for that.
Well, and I don't know about in your communities. Here in our small community, people still go to the home and take food and, take a lot of times sacks of, paper towels and paper plates. Well, instead of me taking those kind of things, depending on my relationship or how well I know them, I'll just take, the diffuser and the oils and say, here we go, and most of the time around here, a friend is there taking care and writing stuff down for them and receiving people or helping with things. And you can give it to that person and explain, this is what you do, this is what it is. And sometimes that's my donation to that family, or, instead of, you can do it that way. So, and what I have found, just because I hear all the time from families, oh, I got a card from so-and-so, or so-and-so stopped at the visitation and signed. And so I try to remember, if there's somebody in my downline that I know has lost a loved one, it doesn't matter if I know them or not, I'll still drop a card in the mail. Or maybe even put a little sample of one of those oils in with it. and just send it to them. That just means a lot. Or, just even trying to go to visitations, even if you don't know them very well, it still means a lot to people when we take the time and do that. So, that's huge as far as just taking care of our groups, that we know.
I know for sure that when we are able to show up for people in those milestones of life, birth and death and tragedy or joy, I mean, it doesn't always have to be sadness, but people, all of us, we just want to be seen and to acknowledge that I realize what you're going through. I may not have a solution, but I just wanted you to know that I'm praying for you and I'm thinking of you. That card in the mailbox ministry is not to be diminished. I think that's really important. And my goodness, we have so much opportunity with time on our hands right now to be able to just check in on people and see who needs a little boost of encouragement.
Well, and especially right now, if you have anyone that's lost a loved one during this time, it is such a different way of having, so they really can use people to reach out to them, because they can only have 10 in the funeral home at a time. And so we have had to get very creative with how we do services. What we've been doing down here is actually like have the visitation pretty much all day long. The family's not there, but it gives friends and family an opportunity to come by and sign the book and pay, leave a card or whatever. But then we're not having more than 10 in the funeral home. And then the funerals, we've actually, the last few have done out to the cemetery, because what we can do is everybody can come and stay in their car, and the 10 immediate family can come around the grave. And then my husband, we have a sound system, and we just take the sound system out and use it to do the service, so that people in their cars, they can roll their window down and they can hear. We actually plan to do that Sunday for Easter Sunday. We are going to have drive-in church. It's like, it's Easter Sunday, we're doing church. So as long as it doesn't rain, that's our plan for church out in our parking lot on Sunday. So
that's wonderful. And seriously, times like this force us to be creative in so many ways. And I truly believe this is a good thing, that it does make us think outside the box. I've heard that there are some funerals happening, I don't know if you guys have done it, but they are using Zoom.
Yes.
And they're allowing families from all over the country, which, my gosh, that is a service. I've actually attended a funeral for a friend of mine in Council Bluffs when I wasn't able to get over there, and they did broadcast it live, and that was months ago. But I thought, well, that's wonderful, because there could be family out of state that can't come. So good for you guys.
We just had a large funeral, and we also did that.
Okay.
It wasn't a Zoom. It was, I can't remember if they did. Live something, but anyway, yeah, so that everybody could attend. So
nice.
So nice. It is
awesome. Well, I don't see any other questions in the chat box. If any of you that are watching have any, feel free to speak up. And if not, we will just say thank you so much, Sandy. This was very valuable. I appreciate it. And friends, make sure that you tune in to our Thriving Through Collaboration tomorrow. It will be Rhonda's got Tuesday, right, Britta? I think that's right. Rhonda Favano will be up, and I believe she does hers in the afternoon. So be watching for those posts, and we will have another fantastic little class to share with all of you. So thank you, Sandy, and thank you, everybody.
All right. Well, thank you. Thank you, everybody.